This is Maya.
This is Maya.
Well, hello everybody. It's been a long time since I made a video, and we were on our way home last night or tonight, and Eric said I would really like to make a blog and make videos and all that jazz, and I was like, I have a YouTube channel and he used to make videos all the time, so let's just do one on there. But he's still gonna make a blog, so be listening for that. He's gonna make a blog. He surrendered his calling to preach in like September, October-ish of this past year, and so he kind of wants to. He gets to preach a lot. Dad lets him preach a lot at the church, but you know, I'm sure he has a lot of thoughts he wants to get out. Kind of like what I do, kind of just rant probably.
Mila has something to say.
Mila has something to say. Mila, hey, look. Oh my gosh, okay. So anyways, so Eric and I are going to start making some videos here and there, hopefully. I always say that, and then I never make videos. But most of you all that watch my videos, if you don't watch my video, if you haven't watched any of my videos, then you can find them on my YouTube channel here. You can get on through this video that we're going to post on here. And I tell a lot about my testimony, where I come from, who I am. I have a lot of videos. I have over 20 videos. And so you can definitely get to know me on there if you don't. So anyways, we just wanted to kind of give our testimony. I'm not going to give too much of mine just because you all know me. Most of you all that follow my YouTube channel are also friends with me on Facebook, so you know who Eric is. But a lot of you that haven't watched my YouTube channel before, or that was just warm on my leg. Can we just take a moment? Maya! Oh my gosh.
She's brutal.
So anyways, so yeah, so you can if you want more about my testimony, you can look on my YouTube channel. There's a bunch of stuff on there. But short and sweet, I was raised in a great, wonderful home. Both my parents, my dad's a pastor of a church. He's been a pastor of this church for about 17 years. And I was raised in that church, and the only reason I am who I am today, besides God, obviously, is because of my parents. They're wonderful. I have 3 older brothers, Matthew, Nathan, and Josh. Josh and Nathan are married. Each of them have a boy and a girl. It's my niece and nephew, Isaac and Naomi, and Lily and Gabriel. And then Matthew is Matthew. What are you eating already?
Come here.
I went to Boyce College. I was a freshman at Boyce College. That was my first year of college. That's the undergraduate to the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary. And there I met this guy. And he was pretty good at basketball. And if you went to high school with me, then you knew that he had to play basketball. You know, that's how it goes. But yeah, so after I got married, it was kind of like a whole different level. Like I was saying, like, the moment we got married, it was literally just like a whole different commitment, a whole other level of life. And when you get married, if you're serving Christ and you're young like us, then you'll know. Just when it happens, it's just like, you're good. Like, God, this is what God wants. And it's hard. But the thing is when it happens, it's just like, okay. My life is literally now about this and God, and it's like so much. It's so much easier. It makes your time so much easier because I know what my time's supposed to be about. Like, you know, when I wasn't married, not saying you should run around and get married, blah blah blah, but it just when it happened, it just made things easier for me. Just my commitment in my life is just my husband and God and my dog.
Mostly the dog.
Mostly the dog. Shut up.
I thought I was the dog.
Anyway, so yeah, but ever since we got married, it's just like a whole different level. Like, it's not just I'm going through a hard time right now, and kind of having my ups and downs in my Christian walk. It's not really my ups and, yes, I still have my ups and downs, but it's more like this, you know, a little bumps instead of highs and lows like I had before. Just because, and that's not even when you get married. It's just when you get to a certain point in maturity in your life, you just get there, and then it's just...
You realize what's important, what matters.
You just realize, and it's just... That's it.
Obviously, some people realize before others, a lot earlier in life. Are you done talking?
Oh,
you couldn't be done
yeah,
talking.
it's true. I'm gonna punch you in your throat right in front of
everybody.
everybody.
Punch me in the throat. That's my face.
But yeah, so I'm gonna, since you all don't really know Eric's story, I'm gonna let him tell his story. You got about 5 minutes, babe.
Yeah, and it's not much of a story. I mean, it's a
story.
It's just a testimony of, and what I'm gonna tell you is just everything that God's done in my life, and how he brought someone who was hopeless and gave them hope, someone who was lost and undone, and made them whole and saved them and found them. And the thing that attracted me about doing a video with Emily, so I know she has some videos online and stuff, and it's important for young people. And it's good for older people as well, but it's especially important for young people to see a 21, a 22-year-old, or we got married as 20 and 19, to see them fully committed and surrendered to the Lord. Are we perfect?
Figureheaded.
Are we perfect? No, but we know why we take each breath each day, and that's for God, and we know why. It's because God gave it to us. And not only that, but not to say that we are anything because we're young, we're serving God, but because God is capable of putting that desire in your heart. We don't wake up each day suffering. Wake up each day excited about where God has placed us, and knowing that we serve an awesome God. And that when we were saved, she doesn't care about what I have to say, but when we were saved,
I hear him talk enough.
when we were saved, we didn't give anything up, but we gained everything. And we just want to be a testimony to that. The Christian life, and a life lived with Jesus as our Savior and as our Lord, first and foremost, is not a life that is miserable. It's not a life without fun. It's not a life without joy. But we heard someone at a revival that we had say that there were some friends that were kind of making fun of him, I guess, for reading his Bible, and that, they were going to a party or something, and they were telling him that he didn't know how to have any fun, and he came back on. He's kind of a shy guy, but he said, I think I'm the only one here who knows what a good time is. And it just goes to show you that we're not missing out on anything. We just want to encourage you that if you are a Christian, or that if you thought about becoming a Christian, if you're young, that it's worth it. It's well worth it. We hope that we can be a testimony of that. But my life started off 2 hours away from where Emily is, 2 hours west of her, from Oldham County, and I'm from Owensboro. So it's just a small town in Kentucky. Owensboro. But I didn't grow up the same way Emily did, not even in the slightest sense. But I had a mother and father who loved me and I loved dearly, and who have just battled with addictions and with the law, and so just like anybody else who just kind of they fall down a little bit. By the grace of God, they can get back up, which I don't hold anything against them, because God has used the things in my life and strengthened me and make me a better person and to motivate me. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But I had grandparents, and actually my grandpa is not even my blood grandpa, but he was just married into the family. But I've always known him just to be my grandpa, because he hasn't treated me any different, but he's loved me just like his own, really like a son. And my grandma was the same way, and they selflessly raised a second generation of children with my younger sister, me, and my younger cousin. And we all went to high school together. You're talking about 3 teenagers and 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old grandparents taking care of us and running us around, basketball, soccer, football, all those things. And not only that, but an uncle who lives there as well. So talking about some trials and some burdens and some things that your grandparents had to carry, and that's hard on young people. But I grew up. They didn't really go to church as much. But God brought friends into my life. God brought a grandmother on my mother's side in my life who who went to church and who loved the Lord, and God used those things and a motivation to stay sober and to not want to deal with the things that have got my parents into trouble, and use that as as a scar in my life and turned it into something that has motivated me and determined me to live a different life and to want something different for my family. And as a young person, that's really important. Um, and so, what was good is that God brought those people into my life, and I was in a church, listened to old-fashioned preaching, Bible-believing preaching, and just good music, good Sunday school, and I got saved into that. I was in the shower one day, and God had mercy on me. He didn't have to save me, but I knew I needed something that I was missing. I asked Jesus to come to my heart. That was my prayer, and it was that simple. And my life has never been the same since. And even whenever I've backslidden and I've fallen short and failed God, as I did much of my middle school and high school years. Not that I was, a big time partier and just wild off the hook, but I still had a spirit of God in me that was different from most people, and also that motivation to stay sober. But I did mess up sometimes, and I did mess up quite a bit towards my end. Emily cannot believe that, but God always had a hold on me, and He always used the life that I had before, and it made me stronger. It made me so. And I just want to encourage you to say that no matter what kind of life you've lived, and no matter where you came from, who your parents were, that when you're younger you had a choice, or when you're young you have a choice to make this life your very own life and take it and make it your own and make it different, make it what you want it to be. And the best way to do that is to acknowledge God and make Him the one who directs your path. And I was lucky enough to find Him when I was 10 years old. And so I rededicated when I was 19. I went to my college in Owensboro. I was sold out and committed to basketball more than anything. The Lord was kind of second thought. And I was just like, well, I'm going to study biology and be a physical therapist, make some money, make a good life for my family. I had scholarship and had to pay anything for college, like $40,000 school. But that was a testimony to hard work and the abilities that God gave me. And so I was doing 15 hours worth of schoolwork, playing full-time college basketball. And then in February, the Lord really got a hold of me and showed me that I wasn't the man that I needed to be and that He wanted me to be through a movie called Courageous. He showed me the father and the husband and the guy He wanted me to be, and it really got a hold of my heart. He dedicated my life, went and bought me a Bible, committed to church, didn't miss any church, got real with my friends who were in church, got real with the pastor, and I actually got rebaptized, which is not essential, but that was just something that I wanted to do as the testimony of my changed life and my new commitment to Christ. And so, but at that point in time, my 4.0 as a biology major, a new biology major of the year as a freshman, I just lost interest in that subject area. God wanted me to be a minister. God wanted me to go into ministry, and I figured that, but I fought it up until about a month before school was about to start back up in the summer. My pastor got a hold of me. He asked me to meet him one night. Didn't know anything about my call towards ministry that I thought I had, and my discontentment towards what I was doing. And he said, have you ever thought about going to ministry? And I was like, it's 10 o'clock at night. I was like, yeah, actually I have. And so from that point on, I committed. I transferred 2 hours away from my family, left my family, forsook all, and came up here to do that. And then what do you know? Out of that, I get a beautiful wife. Woo-hoo! I get to play a little basketball. And then once I got married, 10 months after I got to college, I'm married. And they say when you go to Bible college, that's what happens, but I didn't believe it till it actually happened. One good thing about that, though, is that when I say God has always had His hand on me, and He does this for everybody. This is not just me. Is that God's a good God, and I married a wife who has a awesome mother and father, my pastor and my mother-in-law, who are just, they've been so good to me. They've loved me like their own, and her whole family loves the Lord. And I have a family who a second family who has brought me in and accepted me as their own, and I still have my family back home. So I leave Owensboro, and here I am, and I find another family. So that's good, and it just shows you how good God's been to me, and I just really want to inspire you. And then I always thought that, you know, when I first called to ministry, I'm going to be a counselor. I'm going to be a Christian counselor, and that's what I'm going to do, a biblical counselor.
You can't counsel yourself.
Yeah, I can't even counsel my wife. She counsels me. Cause yeah. But, I didn't want to talk in front of people. There's no way I was going to be a preacher or youth pastor. There's no way. So I'm just going to counsel people one-on-one. That's easy. And then slowly and surely the Lord got a hold of me. Said, you're going to be a preacher. I laid out some fleeces, and I'm a preacher now. I surrendered the call to preach like last September, a couple months after we got married. So the Lord's really been moving in our lives, and you have to know that now is as good time as any to surrender and give your life to the Lord. And if you've already become a Christian, just know that no matter how young you are, no matter how old you are, it's never too late. Just to give everything up and give it to Him, because as soon as I surrendered my life to Christ, in 2 years my life was just radically changed, and all of a sudden I was right on the path that He wanted me to be on. And it's amazing how quickly that can change and how He will guide you in those ways. But we just want this to be a testimony to us and how God's worked in our lives, just for us to be obedient and just saying, God, you can have our lives, and how He's worked in us, and just how good life can be. And it's okay to be young and serving God. It's okay to be young and to love Jesus. It's not going to be easy, but it's the most fulfilling thing you can do. It's the thing with the most blessings. And ultimately, you'll get to see His face. And what more could we ask for?
Truth. Okay. Yeah, like I always say, really. Always leave a comment, message me. Come on. Leave me a message, comment, whatever. Let me know if there's something that you guys want us to talk about, or if you want to talk about something on here. Time and time again, people message me and open up to me, and it's just been, like, these videos have just been so awesome. But this is just kind of to show you who Eric is, kind of pretty much is what we were going with, Aunt Mila. Only because, I don't think a lot of people that know me know him. And he's honestly why. I just can't even tell you. But yeah, so same old, same old. Let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about or anything like that. Maya, say bye. Mila.
Bye-bye.